Big money, big money, big money.
Whammy.
Detox.
What was that?
Detox. Have you
Detox?
ever completed? Yep. Have you ever completed a technology detox? What's that? He says. What is that?
So I know I've talked about this a lot, but when I was in Chile, I didn't use phones or electronics or computers or anything like that while I was there. So I guess that would be the only time in my life I have not had electronics like constantly in my life. But it wasn't by choice, it was by obligation because of the nature of
Yep.
the work that I was doing. And even during that time, I could not use email or anything like that, and that's why I would write letters home. To be honest,
Oh
I
my
don't want
God.
to think of. I don't
Letters.
want to think of. Yeah, so it would be two weeks before I could get a letter home,
Mm.
and so it was about a month before I could get any news about anything that was going on. And the
Crazy.
funniest part about that time was that my parents, we had a cat. Her name was Agnes. She was very old, and I got a letter from home from my dad, and the letter basically just said, "Mom ran over the cat." It was sad,
Oh God.
and I was like, "Wait, what?" Like that was like it was basically just like that was part of the letter, and I was like, "What is going on?" And so I wrote home, and I was like, "Wait, I need more information than just mom ran over the cat." But luckily,
He
my
didn't say
mom,
Agnes is
He
okay. He just
he
left
said it
that
he
one.
said it was sad.
Oh
he
my
said it was
God.
sad. He didn't say Agnes was anything. And my
Oh
dad
my.
wrote me every week, like every week. But my mom didn't write as often. Um, I'd usually get a letter a month or, every once in a while. But I just remember thinking, like, for an entire week, I was like, all the only information that I had, and I couldn't pick up the phone and call them. Super long distance, way too much money to do it. And so um, I was just like baffled by this. And then I got this 6-page letter from my mom the next week that was like word like everything that happened. They took her to the veterinarian. She, and sadly, Agnes did die. Um, but
Oh.
it was just really funny. Like that is the story of my detox of like my cat passed away, and my dad thought that it would be enough to just say mom ran over the cat, but then my mom gave me all the details. And I still joke
In
with
your
them
dad's
about
defense,
that.
he said it was sad.
But it was this whole thing where like my mom was running out the door. She backed up real quick, and Agnes used to like hide under the car a lot because it was warm under there. And
Oh.
normally when you would like, she was really good about, as soon as you got in the car, she would run out. Like she knew what was going on.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't a dummy, but my mom must have just been running like super fast for some reason. I don't even remember the reason why. And she, thump, and then she freaked out because she was late and
Speed up.
and this, and then they took her to the vet, and
Mm.
I got the whole story. But yeah, so that was my detox, I
But you had
guess.
like this. Yeah. Wow. Yep. And since then, nothing else. Since then, you've just been completely tied to electron. You're still recovering from Chile by the sound of it. Sounds like this was an ordeal.
I don't, I don't, I don't know. I mean, my whole life I've been very plugged in. My dad owned a computer store in the early '80s when personal, you know, computers were first coming out. And so I used to just go to my dad's store, and we had games and we had stuff. When I was 8 years old, I got my first Nintendo. Um, I've always been nerdy, so like
Mm.
I've just been playing video games and watching movies. My dad is a huge movie guy. He has an entire wall just full of DVDs. I mean, a
Ooh.
library like in Beauty and the Beast cartoon, like just full of DVDs. Everything that you could possibly
Wow.
imagine. So I've not
Good
spent
stuff.
most of my life not being in front of a computer screen or anything, even though I did grow up before the internet. And I did go out
Mm,
and play all the
mm.
time, but I don't know.
Well, I
But yeah,
think
that's
a lot of us can say that we're now making up for our childhood because we didn't have a lot of this in our childhood. We didn't have our smartphone, so now it's attached to our hip. It comes with us. If I ever go down the other end of the house and the smartphone's not there, it's like, hang on a minute, got to go back and get it. Like that's a lot more steps in my day just to retrieve my phone, and I appreciate that for the calorie count each day. Exactly, it's right here. They're all here. Everything's here.